good. Shit. Right on. Just wait and chill for somebody to show up. Oh, say hi to everybody. What's up, brah? That's my new word in Seattle, man. It's brah.
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 Okay, we got some questions already. Right on, man. What's up, guys? Mr. Mama 456. Am I still going on Rogan? It doesn't appear so. Unfortunately, I didn't get the call back when I was told. So I mean, I sent the email, didn't hear. So it's not looking like it.
Show.
We did. We decided to say fuck it. Actually, that was already in the works. It's just the timing was impeccable. The whole Corona thing came down at kind of almost the same time that I was allegedly going to be over there. But so the answer is no, probably not. I'm not going to count on that. Cool. So who's all in here? I'll see ya. Oh yeah, you can't forget you can't see Joe, can you? So yeah, so man, how's it? You're in Spokane, right? Ish area?
Yes, sir. I'm in Spokane, Washington right now. I think you took a trip to Seattle just recently, didn't you? You're back in San Diego.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I did. I just got back like shit, not even 2 nights ago. I'm still like punch drunk from all the fun we had and
yeah, right on.
Yeah, man. I wanted to go down there, man, but God, I didn't really have a car, and it was like, man, it was just
hey,
6 hours, 6.5.
Not missing much, man. I mean, it's like it's like any like big cities. It's kind of a big city, small town. Like, I mean, the reason to come out here, if you would, I mean, to see me, but would be to like nature is like big time out here. Like, I mean, it is in Seattle a little bit, but it's more like, been converted more to people. But out here, the further you get out here, it becomes more like woods and stuff like that, and rivers, and a lot more so than Seattle.
Well, I wasn't actually in Seattle. I was like in Renton, Maple Valley.
Oh, that's where my family lives.
Issaquah, like, so it was fucking woods out there, man. I've never been to Spokane, but yeah, it was woods, man, like dirt roads and shit, like I liked it, man.
Right on, man. Right on. Well, that's where it's at. That's why you come up to Washington, really, is to get close to nature. I mean, we're surrounded by it, so it's beautiful.
Well, and everything was still on lockdown, right? So we couldn't do anything. I mean, I met up with a friend of mine, hello, Christina, and walked around Pike's Place Market down there. Most everything was closed, but there's a couple places that served us like beer, like in a beer bag in it, But man, I'll tell you what, man, God damn it, like that's Pike's Place Market's a big place, right? And then this whole downtown, everything. There's a Starbucks on every fucking corner. I got to see the original Starbucks, the very first one right down there.
Yeah.
Got to take pictures of that shit. Although I don't really like Starbucks, but whatever. And guess what? There was like no bathrooms, right? Target was open, right? Nope. Like nobody would let you use the bathroom because of Corona. Subway was open, couldn't use the bathroom there. So I'm just like, and there's cops like on every other corner just hanging out. They were brown bagging it, and I'm about to piss myself. It's like, I'm trying to run into Target to buy something, like, please, here, take my money. Let me fucking, before I shit myself. And yeah.
But, they got pretty strict over there from what I understand. Like they're really trying to push that whole social distancing thing all the way to the extreme, right? Only to find out that the virus is like 0.001%. Like,
oh yeah, it's. But you know what though? People were a lot more lax than in Diego anyway about it, because like Diego, you have to wear masks. Like now you can't go, even if you go outside, unless you're like jogging or like eating or something, like you can't just be standing out there like doing nothing. Otherwise, I mean, I haven't got a ticket, but people are getting issued tickets. Seattle though is like, like they have signs like this establishment says you have to wear a face mask. Nobody does. Not nobody, but I'd say at least a good 1 out of 3 people aren't. So no one's taking it very seriously.
Yeah, so my family lives over there, and they've said that they've really taken it very seriously over there, or at least trying to implement all these social distancing kind of things over there. So I'm sorry that it wasn't as cool. Like, one of the things that I really enjoy about Seattle, and it's a beautiful city, And I was like, I gotta recommend this up to you, but like, then I looked it up. It's closed, right? Like, the park in Seattle is pretty badass. Like the one with the Space Needle and stuff.
Absolutely.
I have to tell you, the most psychedelic, most awesome, like quiet, peaceful thing I ever did was I went into the Cholula House of Glass. And this place, this guy had made like glass artwork, like everywhere is this glass artwork, like, you know, under the sea glass artwork, and then just like raw, looks like raw, like crystal, like, you know, and very organic shapes and very, very beautiful, man. Like for me, when I went to Seattle, like, I mean, besides going to Jimi Hendrix's grave in Renton and then Bruce Lee's grave in fucking Seattle, like going to the Cholula like House of Glass was like, I wish I had done acid. Like it was so badass. It was so peaceful. Like everybody, it was real. There's a real quiet vibe in there and stuff. But the glass, oh, like if you ever get a chance to look at that place, just look at it. Or when things open up, if you ever decide to go someplace, just to go someplace, worth the money. The House of Glass.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, man, but like I lived in Seattle for about 4 years, so but that was back in like 97 and 98. So it's kind of neat to go back and like to see like Renton where I lived. Like, you know, it's like now it's like expanded and stuff, and like it's like whoa, it was like it was, you know, and then you get to see like where I used to work and shit. It's like, oh yeah, I remember banging that chick in that restaurant. But yeah, it was, you know, it was kind of cool. You know, some of the same shit was there, you know, and yeah, man. So I got back though, man. I was kind of unplugged for a while. I just was like doing my own thing and shit. But I heard something about that the Pentagon has come forward after some videos got released and has acknowledged that that there is unidentified flying objects in our airspace and that it's a real phenomenon.
Yeah, they don't want to call it UFOs anymore. They want to call it UAPs, I guess. The acronym of UFO has so much stigma behind it that the minute you start mentioning UFOs, they think you're a crazy person, right?
Right. So UAPs, huh?
So UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon.
How about up our pussies? No, wait, that's an O. Unadulterated ass play. Unadulterated ass play. How's that one?
Yeah,
we could just do. I could do this for like 30 minutes. What do you think? What do you got? Going? Ultimate ass pounding. Ultimate ass pounding. Okay. Well, if we run out of shit to talk about,
someone's been doing coke with somebody in the bathroom.
Just by myself. Okay, so what does that imply then? I mean, it's kind of odd timing though, isn't it, that they would release this like for like the first time?
What's really weird is they released the Pentagon confirmed this. Of course, in my theory, I think the Pentagon's been behind this whole thing the whole fucking time. But the Pentagon released this information like 2-3 weeks ago, or maybe a little longer ago. They released it like just as people were starting to figure out this coronavirus is some fucking bullshit, right? So they fucking released this fucking video. And I know in the past I applied conspiracy theories like labs and bullshit and like whatever. But like, you know, it's despite the point right now. But yeah, they released this video like almost dead on to the day that people started like protesting shit. And it's really weird. And like they confirmed that the phenomenon is real, that the videos that are being shown are the real deal. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, just introducing. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, man? He's in Bellevue, I think, right, Jeff?
I'm in Seattle, Capitol Hill.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, hello. What's going on, Jeff?
Hi. Let me grab my microphone.
Cool. I can actually hear you pretty good, but if you want to. Cool. So what were you saying, Joseph? Like,
basically that they released this information kind of like when the coronavirus was starting to fade out as far as being a fear point, you know, like almost to the day of when people started like protesting and stuff. It's really interesting. But these 3 videos that they confirmed as being a phenomenon, right? They didn't say aliens. They just basically confirmed the same videos that To the Stars Academy released. Almost to the day of when people started.
Yeah. I mean, well, the whole coronavirus and the whole right when the elections are coming up, right? And it's like that. I mean, it's all kind of like snowballing into something, and maybe that the UFO things are another distraction, one more on top of the other distractions to kind of.
Could be. I mean, I'm a believer personally. I've had experiences myself. I know you have. Right? We've seen some stuff that's weird. We don't know if it's fucking aliens, although I think I am with a lot of people who would like it to be aliens. But there's a lot of shit that just kind of doesn't make sense, and a lot of stuff that was like blatant in our face just before this information was released in the first place.
What do you think about that, Jeff? What are your thoughts on UFOs?
I don't believe in extraterrestrial. I don't discount them, but I don't personally believe them. But I have had an alien experience on DXM, a psychedelic drug that was very intense and very real, but it came from within. It was like getting in contact with a consciousness from within that was alien, but somehow also myself.
Somebody had real quick. Somebody have a TV on back there? If you can you turn it off? Is there a radio or something?
Oh, I think it's the delay. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's cool.
How do I fix that?
If you can turn your volume off. Oh, you don't have headphones on though. You won't be able to hear us.
Maybe I can.
Just try to turn it down as much as you can. It's not terrible though. But yeah,
I hear it too.
So the DXM, isn't that the stuff they put in Robitussin?
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking, dude. That's probably the best $5 I've ever spent to get fucking wasted. I mean, I've been more wasted, but I've had to spend some money to do it. Robitussin DM, and you can walk in at like 14 and be like, just got a little cough here. My buddy's got one too. Back in like the early 90s, they didn't give a fuck, right? It was like, get these kids out of here. Yeah. Oh, dude, we a couple of shows back, Joe and I were talking about experiences with entities and aliens on DMT. That says
well, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that there are other intelligence out there.
I don't either. I just think we conceive them from a human perspective that if they're out there, they're going to be so different than anything that our human limitations can imagine, that it's going to completely surprise us, whatever they are.
Well, I think they only give us, if they are here, they only allow us to see what we want to see.
That could be too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and as a person who's done psychedelics myself, like, I've had experiences where it got weird. I mean, it was the progression of my psychedelic, like growth or whatever. But like, there's been times where like there has been some shit, like it gets real, right?
No, Joe,
you mean externally?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean, like, and those times have been interesting because they've been shared experiences, right?
Oh yeah, that is interesting.
So, but even then, it is our perception, like all of our perceptions of reality are personal, right? There are people who have no experiences with any of that kind of shit, right? And then there are people that have experiences with that kind of shit, right? And some of those people, maybe some of them, have some issues or whatever, but I don't think that discounts any of it. But I do believe in like what you're talking about, like personal archetypes, right? Like,
yeah,
something within inside you that you felt like you had been communicated with, but it felt like it was a part of you. Right?
Yeah, Satan is also one of those archetypes too.
Let me just take this down a little bit further into the realm of the weird and the realm of a little bit of theory and conjecture. Like, what if all those ideas that we had, right, of the supernatural, right, were personal experiences, right? What if our imaginations are so powerful that everything that we fucking have thought of in some way sometimes is a little bit of a hiccup, and we create these things?
I've thought about that a lot. I've had experiences with, and psychedelic experiences where I felt like entities were coming out of me and going into the external world, and I was generating them.
Well, like I said, everyone has their own personal experiences and their beliefs. I have personally had like a lot of weird paranormal shit happen to me in my life. And I wish it was more than a story. I wish I could share those experiences with you beyond that. But yeah, I believe that there are certain parts, there are others. And I also think that there is also the creation of our consciousness that can create life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been told for so long that our imaginations are clearly that, but we clearly live in like a weird dual dimensional sense, just being alive and being in this 3D dimension, right? Like we have the 3D dimension, which is what we're told is real, but at the same time we have the multiverse in our brain, right?
Right.
And at the same time, like you know, I don't know. I mean, I have all sorts of theories about this shit. Like, one of my theories was like, if we were going to talk about Dr. Stephen Greer and like what Zach thinks about him, right? Like, because you know who he is, right? He believes in CE5 encounters and encountering, you know, through meditation. And he's a guy that's kind of out there in the UFO field, right? Well,
Joe, real quick, just before we get into that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to catch you guys on something that I said a while ago. The DMT alien experiences. This just happened. What time is it? This happened about 16 hours ago. I figured I'd go for a blast and had my gear all set up. I wanted to try out that new Dream Bong thing I got.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, it worked a lot better than I thought. I put a lot more in there than I should have, because I usually double down on everything I do. Like, you know, and I was just like, but see, the thing is that I can double down on acid, right? Like, someone takes, like, I know I can handle it.
Right? Acid guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't double down that hard, but I know I can handle 4 or 5 hits. I might, you know, be a little sideways, but the DMT, it's like, because it's just overpowering. Like you just, like, you don't have any control. I did it, right? And I knew. Like, I didn't even finish the first hit. Like, I'll have to explain this, like, how I did it is a certain the methodology that I have to use it, and it worked. I didn't even get the first hit out. You know, I was like worried about lighting the second hit. First hit, it was like, and like this high pitched noise, like sirens, like, and it was like, fuck, put my shit down, because I knew it's like, okay, I'm about to get abducted, but I knew it's not by aliens, right? But by the DMT, right? And all of a sudden I was like, and like, all of a sudden, like, I opened my eyes because I got scared. I got scared because it was like violent, like, kind of jerked me right into my chair. So my eyes just as shock. And man, I don't know why, you know, I think it's suggestive, because you read the forums, people talk about gestures and shit like that. I get there, and all of a sudden there's like 3 like Joker guys, right? That's the only way I can describe them, but like sinister Joker guys. And like, they kind of stopped and they were doing something on this box in this purple room, right? And I'm like, my heart is like, go out of my chest. I'm like, did I just die? Was that the last hit? I know it's coming one day, right? And then I start talking out loud, and I realize it, and I open my eyes. And then when I open my eyes, the gestures are right in front of me. And but they look like I offended them, like I like interrupted something. Because I was like, oh, like I got like what do you call it? Transported from like this world into theirs. I mean, I know it's all my subconscious. I think so. I don't believe
could be.
But man, they were pissed off. They looked at me like, what the fuck? Like I walked in and I'm taking a shit or something. I was like, and then I just like fucking, I had a struggle to break out of the trip, man. I was like, I crashed into the front of my computer trying to stand up. I don't know.
Well, you know, one of the techniques I've learned when it comes to psychedelics to see if like I'm dealing with something that's a archetype of my own personality, or if it's an actual being, is that I get it to try to make a sigil for me, or a symbol.
You get it to what?
I try to get it. I try to communicate with it to see if it's my own subconscious, or if it's, because like this goes back to like what's his name, man? The guy from the '60s who went down to South America and did a bunch of acid. I'm forgetting his name.
Carlos.
Not Carlos Castaneda, but like the other hippie guy. I forget his name. He's on the tip of my tongue, man.
It'll
Like
come.
he's like a light worker guy, but he basically he did a lot of acid, and people revere him a lot as a guy who's done a lot of psychedelics. You know what I'm talking about?
Can't place him.
Sorry. Well, anyway, the idea is that you can take something back with you, right? The idea is if you can go into that state of mind and you're dealing with something that's from the outside, that you can get it into some way to interact with you or give you something tangible that you can take back with you. All right. So what I try to do is I try to get it to make a sigil for me. I try to get it to make a symbol. And if it can make a symbol for me, then more likely and it's not often that this will happen, but that if it can do that, if it can create something like that for me to take back with me, more than likely I'm dealing with something that's outside. And the only reason being is that it takes, like, I've dealt with my archetypes before. I've dealt with the imagery. I've dealt with the stuff that deals with that realm, and a lot of the time it's rather random. But every once in a while, like I said, you might be on the right frequency to be talking to something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. See, I think we all come kind of from similar but different backgrounds in the sense where I think Joseph here is a little bit more spiritual than we are, a little bit more open to entities, and I think he's more theistically inclined. Not in a negative way, but just more open to the possibility that we're not alone and we're not just not in an alien sense, but in a spiritual sense. And I don't know. I honestly, man,
you don't have to. I mean, we're not arguing here. We're
I don't dismiss any of that at all. I don't dismiss anyone's subjective experiences.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Sometimes it gets weird.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but it takes a while to work yourself up to that point, man. And then I think DMT is really the gateway drug to the letting go of yourself, to be able to at some point be able to contact something outside you. I do, because it blasts you off so fast you have no other choice but to let go. And for me, all of my trips completely changed after using DMT. Like before DMT, it was just kind of like, every once in a while it might be weird. I could discount it, like whatever. It was mostly like I understood I was on a drug and it was fun. But when I got into DMT, that stuff kind of changed the whole fucking. It became more like you're forced to let go. You know,
it sounds intense.
You've never done it?
Not DMT.
Okay.
I did a lot of mushroom. I grew up in the South, so we had psychedelic mushrooms galore available. So that was mostly what we did. They were potent.
Well, DMT is another level, as Zach will tell you. It's another level. Like you're forced kind of where it's kind of gradual with the shrooms. You can kind of anticipate when you're about to go in. Like with acid, you can kind of wait an hour maybe, or if it's stronger.
Yeah, there's a curve to it.
Yeah, with DMT there is no curve. It is
yikes!
blast into hyperspace and imagery. And your own personal belief and faith and stuff that you believe in also will manifest and through imagery through the DMT.
Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while, yeah, it gets weird.
Oh fuck! Damn it! I turned my mic off. Oh wait.
Either
way, yeah, you're right. I now I gotta go back and reiterate because I thought you guys were listening, but nobody was. Anyway, yeah, I mean, if you're a spiritual person and you have hallucinations, they're likely going to be in the form of angels or devils or demons, right? But if you're not spiritually inclined, or if you live in this era where aliens are on every corner and every headline on every movie, maybe the aliens have replaced the angels and the demons.
But why do
level.
people experience a lot of the same things?
Because they read the same fucking shit that we do. I read the same fucking forums on Reddit when I was exploring DMT, and I've heard the same fucking stories you have. And so now
maybe
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just a good looking one, man. I don't pretend to be the smart one, man. you know.
Well, neither am I. I don't know shit. I only know what I.
I like what Magus is saying over there. He's saying that maybe it's we're on the Matrix, and this is an experiment to see how they can, you know,
maybe, yeah,
jab us, right?
Why not?
It's God's Matrix, but then God.
Maybe.
Let's get
But what if the machine created us, and now we're the other machine, and the other machine's creating us, and then that machine creates something else. We don't know. It's weird. Yeah.
Multi-level thinking. No. No. I'm too stoned for that. That's right.
Hey, it's cool.
So okay. So then there's this crash in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Like, so there's a crash in Brazil. Did they just say it was aliens because maybe they dropped a bomb on themselves and felt stupid?
There was some weird shit flying in the sky. People took videos. It started taking off on social media. It started taking off on TikTok. And then there was this one video that looks very like, I don't know. I'm skeptical about it. It looks like a close-up of something that hit the ground, but it looks like a metal top hat with a light on top.
I know exactly what it was. It was all those fucking Brazilians with those big asses, man. They were fucking dancing. Blew the side right out of the fucking plane. Bam! Like, yeah.
I mean, but it wasn't minor news, but like on YouTube, it kind of became kind of a big deal, especially around people that are in the UFO community, you know, and that's where I first saw it. And I tried to look up the article, and it was like Daily Express or something like that. But then there's been some strange videos lately, like on YouTube, or not YouTube, but TikTok. And one of the videos, which was really kind of interesting, at the same time, I'm like, it's got to be too good to be true. But it looks like there's a formation of red lights in the sky doing something weird. And there's cop cars down the street in Brazil that are just going like haywire nuts. And then about a week later from when that video was released, there was videos supposedly of some sort of blue object in the sky. And then there was a military presence, like people shooting pictures of helicopters. And then, you know, some of the Brazilian, like they're just people making videos in Brazil or whatever like that. They were commenting on this UFO crash. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're not Brazil, so it's hard to know. But I mean, some of it is very suspect for sure.
What do you guys think? I'm reading some questions in here. I'm gonna drop that link again. I think we can get up to 4 or 5 people in here, but if anybody wants to jump in,
yeah, whatever, man, it's cool.
There's a link right there. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, somebody's asking about reincarnation. Do you think that possibly we're just like repeating patterns and like, you know how when you do a lot of acid and you get on that fucking deja vu thing where it's like everything you fucking do is like, I've done this. I've done this.
Circle.
The loop. I hate it, man. You gotta know. You got to get past the loop because that's where people start freaking out.
Why not? Like, I don't believe that this is the end. I don't believe this is the end at all. I've had experiences with what I believe are spirits. I don't believe this is the end. I think that there's one thing that scientists can't explain is where does consciousness come from? You know, because without our consciousness, without our emotions, we're just a bunch of biological robots, right? Like, you know, but the whole idea of consciousness, that's a part of it. Why not? You know, I mean, even if there's nothing that happens after you die, right? What they found is that DMT, right, is in your brain when you sleep. It gives off, allows you to dream. And then when you die, that is flooded into your brain, right? And you know what it's like to be on DMT, right? There's no space, there's no time. It's just when it's done, it releases you and you're open, but you're in that fucking zone for forever, right? So whether there's an afterlife or not is irrelevant because your brain's going to give you that afterlife when you die.
I don't think so, man. There's when Joe Rogan had a dude on who's kind of actually has a medical degree, right? And like he was saying that DMT is not found naturally in the human body. It's not released in the brain. I know that's what everybody thinks because we read the same fucking stories, right?
Yeah.
This doctor's like, no, it's not found. You know, naturally occurring. You know, I was under that impression too, though, Joe. That
Yeah. Well, me too. I just learned something new.
Apparently not. Yeah, they've said that it's not a natural occurring chemical in the brain.
Well, that would be weird though, because then what gives the experience of these afterlife, like visions that people have when they die? And some of them have been doctors and scientists who have come close to death and explained their
Satan
experience. Well, yeah, but like I had a near-death experience. I saw like burning cities and fucking. I showed you that picture, right? Like that I had kind of collaged together. I had a near-death experience. Mine was on mushrooms, though, but I had one.
Yeah.
Because your brain would still decompose. So you're saying like before your brain decomposes, that interval would seem subjectively infinite and appear like an afterlife.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't last forever in reality, just because if it needs a human brain to sustain it, that's gonna.
But if you're like when you're sleeping, right? Like, and you have a dream and it seems like forever, but it's only been a second.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, but
there might be. I know there was a book in the 70s where they did a study of near-death experiences, and there were certain specific patterns too. Like they all had similarities and patterns. And it might be traced to something in our brain that gets triggered during that experience that's common to all of us.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't have the answers.
No, nobody does. Neither do I. I don't know anything. I can only give you a taste of my reality of what I believe in. But I couldn't tell. There's no answers. I'm always the fucking student in this shit. Anytime I would ever say that I do more than anything, I get my ass handed to me. So
Magus threw something in the chat room here that you guys probably can't see, but I'm reading. He said Jedi, and that's kind of an interesting thing. All I had to say is one word, because the Force and stuff like that, all kind of ties into like a universal oneness, of a force greater than us. It's from a satanic perspective, like when you're talking about forces and in a magical perspective, like on greater magic and stuff, it's kind of interesting to see how like Yoda was like a fucking magician, man. He was just like, the force binds you, controls you. But I mean, the whole dark side shit was fucking stupid. But like some of that shit was kind of like, I was like, wow,
somebody's been reading a little bit, right?
A little bit, which is once you pull back the Halloween costumes of Satanism, there's Buddha. No one believes me. Exactly. It took me about 20 years to figure this out, but I did. It's not quite the same Buddha that we see, by the restaurants, but behind the veil, it's like the Wizard of Oz. Halloween costumes, devils. Buddha? What the fuck? Still?
Like the whole time I was searching for something dark and I found something that would just center me, right?
I think there's a certain groundedness and a certain...
Give me 1 second, sorry.
Sense of peace, or that like the same thing you find in Buddhism. I think you can get that from Satanism.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you're centered yourself,
like a certain self-acceptance, like a self-acceptance, a groundedness, kind of a peace that just comes from working within nature.
Yeah, for sure. But there is an energy to nature too, like something that. Like, I mean, maybe it's just perception, but like for me, like being close to it does something to me too. I mean, like as man, we became like so far removed from it, right?
I'm hearing that delay again. It sounds awful.
For me?
I think it's me, but like 30 seconds later or something.
Okay. Yeah. You might need headphones and stuff like to.
I can't hear it though. I can't hear it. So
can't hear it either.
I got the master volume, so it's like it's not going to come up on the video. But if it does, fuck it.
It's all about your perception, though, man. And I mean, it really a spiritual path or a lack of there. A spiritual path is a personal path, regardless. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. But what you were saying, Jeff, is like, it's a Satanism can lead you there. And I think it can. But the way it was set up was kind of a gimmicky way and a childish way to attract people at a certain age group and a certain audience and a certain emotional and spiritual development. But then I think as they progress down the left-hand path and kind of see Satanism, not just, I don't want to incorporate all Satanism, but see like LaVeyan Satanism. There's a lot of hocus pocus in there, a lot of carnival tricksters, a lot of Halloween costumes and stuff, and that's all fine and that's all good. And there's a lot of like, hell, Satan, like death metal, and it's like, that's good, I mean, that's kind of what got me out to like say fuck off, to my Catholicism, at a certain age, was Metallica, Slayer, and that, and some people just stay at that point, and that's where they go.
And being told you can't listen to that shit because it's of the devil, right?
I
Right?
don't remember. I don't.
Same here. The music, the Dungeons and Dragons.
You can't do something, you explore it, right? Like,
Right.
Yep. Everything you touched was somehow satanic and the devil.
Yeah. I came from that time too. I came from the Satanic Panic. Like,
me too. I had a Satanic Panic mom.
Yeah, me too. Well, no, I watched like the Satanic Panic on TV, and like I already dismissed God by the time I was 10. I was like, okay, fucking Santa Claus can't fit down the chimney. No fucking way. Okay, we don't even have a chimney. Okay, 2 second. Easter Bunny, nope. Tooth Fairy, nope. Jesus, that was a hard one because everybody's telling you that, like, everybody's like, that we lied to you about all this, son. Sorry.
Well, maybe they didn't lie to you. Maybe there's something to do with a mistranslation of the doctrine, the way they're being shown off to everybody else, right?
We're monkey see, monkey do. That's how we evolve.
Well, no, but like, okay, look at this, man.
Repeat.
Our ancestors believed in the supernatural, and it was more than just whatever. I mean, we can look at the basic like connections between Jesus and like Osiris or any other martyred god that came within the other mythology, right? When you put your belief into something and your faith into something, there's some sort of connection that part of it, regardless of its connection, can be manifested into reality. Now, whether it's manifested in reality through writing or art or affecting others in an altered state of consciousness without the use of drugs, right? Like, bringing forth that into reality, there's no part of you that believes that with enough fucking energy put into something, physical, mental, or whatever, will change a person's perception of reality.
Yes.
Therefore, making that thing possibly. Now I'm not talking about gods like they're a being or whatever the fuck, man. I'm talking about the fact that what we misunderstood as something mystical might be a part of the regular human condition, and that when you manifest something from your brain and from minute detail and bring it into reality, is that not magic? Is that not reality or altering reality?
Yes, I think human creativity has the power to alter reality.
Exactly. So it's, in a sense, it's misunderstood.
And right? I think Satanism can be the religion of that creativity and a powerful portal or gateway to awakening that in whoever responds to it.
Well, I mean, it's based on the individual, right? Yeah. If the individual finds that they find the things in life in a certain path, and that brings them that reality and brings them that magic, right? Then it's no more. They're all, the only thing that makes them invalid is just, I don't know. I don't know if they're invalid or I mean, that's what was told on DMT, dude. Like they were valid and invalid at the same time.
Hey guys, real quick, I got to catch up on these questions here, which aren't just directed. Yeah, they're not just directed towards me. So let's see. There's about 4 of them now. So
go ahead.
One of them is Diaz on Dante. Like that. If we could live forever, should we? I mean, I would love to live forever. I'd probably be the first guy in the world to kill myself, though.
That seems like a nightmare.
But
nightmare to me.
I don't know, man. I do it. I would love to live forever, man. Because you know what? I don't know.
But also
because I'm at least I'll be 44 in 2 days, right? And so it's like I'm not gonna be. I'm no way I'm gonna live to be 88. There's no fucking way, right? I'm already like, so yeah. Now I'm thinking like, oh man, I should have. could have done all this shit. You know, wish I would have done that.
Well,
But
and
yeah,
every
so live
story
forever.
about it.
I want to do everything, every motherfucking thing on this earth, no matter how bastardly, no matter how dirty. I do everything until I'm just like, there is absolutely fucking nothing left to do.
What do you think of the ability
sad.
to download your consciousness before you die into like a
No,
program?
thank you.
Yeah,
I had
fuck that.
my psychopathic ex was really into that, and it was creepy to me then, and he was a creepy person, so I have very negative associations with people that are trying to upload their consciousness.
We're not
No,
there
I
yet.
know.
We don't
It's
have the
just-
technology yet, but it'd be awesome. But we don't even understand what consciousness is, much less how to
Right, that's
how
part of it.
to put it on a zip drive, you know, yet. But it's okay.
Well,
So
they're
we got
already
that
starting
one.
to do that shit.
They're trying to. That's like cryo freezing people.
Yeah, it
like,
reminds me of the
hey,
80s.
no,
Michael
no.
Jackson tried to freeze him.
No, they've taken the consciousness and writing and different.
But it's not going to be
not
the
a soul.
consciousness
That's the
as you
problem.
experience
it's not a soul. Yeah,
from
it's
Well,
not a
no, I
soul.
know it's a
There's problem.
copy.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next question. This was at me. Maybe your crazy story, Zach. Have you ever had any crazy interactions like mafia, gang affiliation types of dodge a bullet? When I was slinging coke, man, I got it from like, they weren't like directly from the Mexican mafia in Phoenix, but they were kind of they were like cousins. Like they weren't like Mr. Roberto. They were like Jose, the busboy, but he was related to Mr. Roberto. So in a sense, that's how I got my nickname Zacarias, right? But I never had any problem with any Bob thing. I'm just a white guy, and they're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But so yeah, no, I don't have any mafia stories. I never made it that far. We have one about one more. I think there's two more here. Oh, maybe that's it. Okay. Oh, somebody retracted a couple other questions. That's okay.
That's cool. Whatever. I mean, it's whatever. You know.
So nobody wants to jump in, guys, because I'll drop the link one more time, and that's it.
Let's go back into that consciousness thing, though.
Yeah,
That's
go for it. You guys go.
Well, I mean, like the whole idea of uploading consciousness seems to be like a reoccurring theme now, like
with technology.
Like, yeah, technology, but also in Hollywood.
But like as technology develops, our metaphors for like what we can dream of or hope for, or the way it becomes possible. So some of it's related to. That's not something that would have been possible to even imagine before this random technology was created that led the brain to start making those kind of metaphorical linkages to even be able to think that way. So some of it's determined by, I guess, a totally different industry unrelated to spirituality or art, that spirituality or art reacts to or responds to, and then kind of develops the concepts as the technology develops.
I think they're trying to create a god.
The technology is?
Fuck yeah. Why not? If you have a superhuman smart fucking computer that has the knowledge.
That doesn't keep me up at all, because I never think that the most advanced computer is ever going to be a fraction as powerful as the most ordinary person's brain. Like humans can do so many things a machine is never going to be able to do.
Sorry, I got a little excited there. Yeah, no, you're right. But I mean, they've already started making neural nets. They've already started making quantum computers.
Well, I say bring it on. I'm not worried about it.
No, nor am I. I mean, I don't think we're going to.
I think you're right. I think it's going to go in the direction they're going to try. But I think they're going to come up against human creativity that a machine can't harness or mimic. And it's not going to be able to go around it either.
Here's one thing, guys. I'm going to point this out to kind of like reduce us back to the common denominator before we get too far out. Is we're really just stupid monkeys. Like we just invented the electricity a few hundred years ago, right? Made it to the moon, like what, 80 years ago, whatever it was. Like now we're talking about consciousness into digital programs that we've only been doing for like 10 years. There's no way anybody in this fucking room or listening to this is going to be around if that technology is possible. Maybe it will be, right? Maybe it will be, but it's not going to be around in our lifetime. So let's just talk about getting laid and having fun, because that's about all we're going to be able to do.
No, but if you had a computer, right, that had all the knowledge of human history, right?
You have one in here. The closest you're going to get.
But I'm just saying, if you did, right, if you had it and it was hooked up to everyone via VR, right?
Okay.
and every living thing was connected to it at some point, right? Well, then we become like the fucking Borg, right, from Star Trek and shit. You know, I mean, it becomes like that's what Elon Musk is kind of afraid of right now, and that's why he wants to create like a neural net that'll allow us to interface with machines. So it's hard to say what's going to happen, but I know that there's this push right now for, and this is what I mean. Just doing my research, I don't know if it's correct or not, but the whole idea of releasing 5G, right, is to be able to support and amplify artificial intelligence, because it doesn't have enough speed right now at the current, like, you know, what we have right now with fourth generation to be able to power like the Internet of Things and such, right? So what if this is the next step? Like, I mean, I there's the idea of the singularity too. Like at some point, like the singularity hits and we get to a point of technological revolution where it becomes exponential.
I don't know about the singularity, but I think AI is a very realistic, like, benchmark to expect and prepare for. And I think the innovations that come from that, we can't even predict right now, but they're going to change the way we think and the possibilities we can imagine then too. So I think AI is probably one of the most realistic, like, game changers coming forward to plan for.
Well, probably more realistic than UFOs for sure.
At least the quantum computing, like once they crack that quantum computing and get that, I think that's going to be the leap that leads to the rest of the technological developments, whatever's waiting in the queue.
Remember now, I mean, you know, my background is Church of Satan, LaVeyan Satanism, and I remember LaVey talked a lot about artificial human companions and stuff like that, you know, androids and stuff. He was real big on that. Like he was going to buy the first motherfucking sex doll, or he's going to build one, right? I mean, I can't blame him, right? I mean, he had some very strange fetishes, you know, like chubby blonde women that piss themselves. I mean, hey, you almost need to build one, right? At that point, because it's good luck, right? But anyway, yeah, I mean, so that's already here. I don't know if you guys watch Pornhub, because I know nobody here watches porn. Nobody here. Oh, you do? Fucking pervert.
I mean, no, but I know what you're talking about. Like, I know what you're talking about, about the robot, like, sex dolls, right?
Absolutely. Sex toys. God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so, yeah. But guys, seriously, unless they come up with like a way to put our brains in jars, like on fucking Futurama, all of us are going to be dust by the time that shit fucking happens.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not. I mean, it looks like it though.
Well, your body probably will be, regardless of what else happens.
Here, I already understand. I understood the answer to life. You guys ready? This is the meaning of life, and this is a question of life after death. The meaning of life is simply to live. When you die, we don't have the ability to understand and grasp the concepts of moving on past our lives, because we're egotistical animals. We're self-absorbed, and we only know, which is how spirituality and religion came about, trying to push outside of ourselves to gain a bigger meaning of something. We don't have the ability to understand what that is. And you've seen the atrocities it's done. We're just going to go, and probably our, if you want to call it a consciousness or a bioelectric energy or our chi, some people call it a soul, we'll leave our bodies, but in an actual physical way. Our electrobiological energy will stop, and it will short out. It will just get absorbed back into the one, and the one will redistribute it as it sees fit, which is probably chaotic. And I don't think our consciousness is going to live on. I wish, because I'd love to go beat the shit out of that bitch.
There are people, though, that say through meditation that you can achieve that you can go beyond, like, or the idea where they call it the wheel of reincarnation, like where you go to the light and then you come back out and you're recycled into something else, right?
Sure, but yeah, DMT, you know, people see aliens.
Consciousness that they believe that they can achieve that allows them to continue on.
Sure, it's admirable. Doesn't everybody here want to believe, whether you do or not? Don't you want to believe that when you die, it's not the end of your life and that you move on to something better? I think everybody here wants to believe that.
No, that would be a nightmare. I expect eternal peace, and if
blackness,
if that doesn't happen, I'm going to be very freaked out and distracted for eternity.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I want to come
just
back.
saying,
I want to come
like,
back. I want to come back just to kick people in the balls over and over for eternity. You know?
I do like
One more
Nietzsche's
time.
eternal return, where you live your life over. I wouldn't mind living this life over and over and over again.
Oh,
Yeah, well, maybe it's just one big loop.
it
Yeah.
could be parallel
That's
universes
that's
too,
what
right?
Nietzsche
Bam, bam, bam.
thought.
Nietzsche
Maybe
thought that.
when
No
you
shit.
die, you just
No.
unplug like you're unplugging from a video game. You know, who knows? Who knows? I've had experiences with. When my father died, I had experience with his spirit, or at least what I thought was his spirit.
Well, and see, in that those are subjective experiences. No matter what, I don't mean to like degrade it by saying
No, it's
subjective,
fine.
but they are subjective. That's what your impression was, right? Which will ultimately form your reality. Because what do we base our reality on? Is based on what we stimuli that we get, right? So if
Yeah.
it's if you see aliens, if you think you saw an alien, whether it's true or not, your belief in aliens is going to be pretty concrete. Or if you see spirits, or
I think faith and belief has something to do with this. Yeah, for a lot of it. Yeah, I mean that.
but not faith in a spiritual way.
Huh?
Not necessarily faith like in a Catholic way or in a Christian way, but just faith.
Belief.
What is spiritual though? I mean, I think we're all spiritual to some degree, right? Even the stark atheist, will have a hard time saying that, he doesn't quite understand what the motivation for the flowers to turn towards the sun and bloom, whatever, right? Whatever, you know what I mean? So but I don't know. Yeah. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. I'm just gonna
It's okay. It's all right, man. It's all right. No, we all have our own personal experiences that shape our reality for sure. We do.
I think it's fruitful to share them. So I like that you're doing stuff like this.
Right on, man. I got a lot of stories.
We do.
It's cool.
All right, guys. I'm gonna hit a couple more of these last questions, man. I'm call it.
Right.
If I sit here and sweat anymore, I should. Man, Joseph, I sat because there ain't fucking shit to do in Seattle, right? Not even Seattle, in fucking Renton, right? And Issaquah, right, Maple Valley Highway. Yeah. So we sat around drink whiskey cokes for like 8 days, and like I didn't fall off the wagon, but one of the wheels came off a little bit. I was never really on the wagon, but I was kind of like hanging on to the side a little bit. Anyway, yeah, but I gained like 12 pounds, dude, in 8 days from drinking fucking Pepsi and Coke. Or I'm sorry, Pepsi and bourbon.
Getting older.
Dude,
you can't be doing the same shit
man.
When
now
you're young.
I gotta like go do something drastic, like eat a meth sandwich or something to lose some weight, and
I've been meditating for the last 21 days, in the morning and the evening.
What happened? Did you come to any conclusions?
Well, I've been able to. I mean, I'm just starting right now. I kind of went off and on it. I would lose interest or whatever. All right, but I started feeling just dealing with balance and inner pain right now, like for certain things. I have PTSD, so and mania. So I've been, I go to therapy and I deal with my shit, and I try to stay relatively healthy, but I store my shit in. So I've been going in the morning and in the evening and around noon, where I'll just practice breathing and meditation just to be able to find balance and stuff like that. That's what I've been doing. And so since I've been at home and we've been on lockdown, I almost wish I had started at the start of lockdown, but I wanted to, I just wanted balance and to find clear mind. And that's what I've been doing. So I've been doing that physical activity as much as I can. And,
does it work?
Yeah, I think it does.
Does it help you?
I mean, it can be subjective too, but I feel like I'm not. Once I started getting to the 15th day, I kind of stopped wanting to do things that were ego bound, like get on social media. Oh, okay. I'd use social media as a place to just kind of just explore my dark side, be a dick, and do what I ever do. But I started realizing that I'm not, it's isolating me, and I'm not feeling at balance. So I have to balance both sides right now. And I find that it just quiet time with myself has helped a lot.
Joseph, I have PTSD too, and I do trauma work for people with PTSD. I'm interested if the meditation's helping with that, and also your support system. Since you're isolating, do you have a support network outside of your own bubble right now?
I do. Even though I continue to go to therapy. I've been going to therapy since I was 13 years old. So I still go to somebody I can talk to that's impartial, that I can just let my shit out, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, physical activity and quieting your mind are the best
It is
things
making a
to keep
difference.
you from reliving shit and staying in your head. Since I
It kind of
started,
shuts down that ruminating.
what's that?
It shuts down that reminiscing and that ruminating.
Yes, absolutely. Like since I started, I have not I mean, and this is taking it seriously, like really like keeping to the same meditation. I ask everybody 30 days, just try it 30
How many
days.
times in a sitting do you do it? How many minutes?
I do a 30-minute session in the morning, and then I practice the fourfold breath after, okay, which is followed by a noon one and an evening one, right?
Okay.
Which is the fourfold solar breath and the fourfold lunar breath and the fourfold seasonal breath.
Okay.
Which is where I inhale for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, real slow, then hold it for 4, and then exhale for 4, and then hold it for 4. And at that time, as I'm visualizing whether I'm doing lunar, solar, or seasonal, I'm thinking as I inhale, the sun is coming up. Hold, it's at noon.
Oh.
And then it lowers down. So it's a visual meditation on top of a breathing meditation. And that's the same thing for the lunar. Like the moon is full, exhale, hold, the moon is down. And it's the same with seasonal. You go through winter, autumn, spring, and summer, and then back and forth. And I've been practicing that for like the past 21 days too.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
We got a question.
For me, I was storing everything in, and my mind was cluttered a lot, and I looked for other escapes, and none of them were serving me, and so I decided, fuck it, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it.
That sounds very healthy. Like your instinct sounds healthy.
Thank you. So I recommend it. Yes, please meditate.
So guys,
30-day challenge. Anyone out there, 30-day challenge. See how far you can go, and just meditate morning and evening.
But then we got 2 more questions. Somebody's threw out here. It looks like Flips was saying thoughts on doppelgangers.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I've met my doppelganger, like the other human out there that's identical to me and you're not ever supposed to meet. So I've met my human doppelganger, but I don't know about the supernatural kind.
I believe that that, like what he says, like I think that there's a certain part of the gene pool, like how many fucking Maguires are out there, right? There's going to be someone that looks like me, so I mean that part of reality is probably true. I've seen doppelgangers.
It happened. It is. Yeah.
If
it's
there
the uncanny valley thing when it happens.
If there are entities out there and they only give us what they want us to see, then yeah, there might be something like that out there.
Well, that's looking in the comments, people throwing the LSD stuff in there, which obviously if everybody's done, the LSD, it'll set you in that, like, I've been here before. I know, understand, we're all connected. What the fuck? I mean, you do, upwards of like 500 UG, man, you'll be convinced that you are now in the Matrix. But it's like, but would you have been convinced that if you've never seen the fucking movie? That's the thing. It's like, what is suggestive? And I don't know, man. It's fun. Damn it, I've lost this question.
It's okay.
Oh, guys, I wanted to say one thing. Somebody asked about if I could tell a story that I haven't told yet. This guy, where'd he go? Somebody asked about the mafia thing. Yeah. Man, this wasn't a mafia thing, but it reminded me of this story, and I haven't actually made a video of it yet. So I'm just gonna rattle off real quick, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody. And I just came back to San Diego, right? And I'm here, and it's probably like, I think it's like 2015, maybe right about the time I met you, Joseph, right around there. It was right around there, and just came back from Portland. And man, I was trying to I was kind of like low key slinging some blow at the bar down the street from where I live, and you know, and I met this dude, and it's like, you know, I was always going through him, and he was like one of those guys. He used to like kind of want to cut me off because I'm like calling him, like, yeah, he don't even know, like, you ain't gonna sleep if you give me your phone number and you're selling some shit like that. Because then I know all these people, right? So it's like, bam, bam. He's like, hey, I'm just gonna introduce you to the guy, so you can leave me the fuck alone. It's like, all right, awesome. Then you don't pinch my shit, all right? But you know, and anyway, so he takes them to this house, right? And just a regular house, you know. And I go in there, and it's all Mexican dudes, right? Which, yeah, San Diego, right? No, but not a big deal, you know. Mexicans, the dude likes their cocaine, and you know, and so go in there, and man, first time everything went well. Like, you know, hey, what up? You know, blah blah blah, money, you know, a couple snorts, get out, right? Just typical, right? And the second time I went in there, though, totally different atmosphere. I went by myself though, the second time, right? And I went by myself. I walked in, you know, knocked on the door, walked in, and you know, a couple dudes standing there. You know, when I get in there, it's like they turn off the TV, you know, and like weird because they kind of like position, like kind of like circle a little bit, like kind of like one standing by the back door, one standing by the front. I'm just like, oh fuck, you know, whatever. And it's not like I'm buying like a kilo, man. I'm buying like an 8-ball. Like, you know, you got to beat my ass for $100. Probably not worth your time, right? And but still a little nervous. And so, dude turns back on TV, and another dude comes over to me, and I can kind of hear the TV, and like in the back of my head, I'm like, what the fuck are they watching? I thought maybe like a TV show I'm familiar with. Like, I kind of hear like something, and then he's like, calls for his girlfriend to come out. She comes out, and dude is like, yeah, he's like, yeah, so we know exactly who you are, man. And I'm like, oh fuck, they think I'm a cop. Great. Oh fuck, like, you know, I mean, I don't look like a cop, but these are Mexican guys, you know. And I think, you know, to a certain level, all white guys are fucking cops, right? So all right. So what am I gonna have to do? You know, he's like, seen you, homie. Go over here. Like fucking like big dude pushes me, and I'm like, what? I look at the TV, and they're fucking watching the 30 hits of acid video. And they're like, that's you, homie. I told you. And he goes, I told you that was him. I was like, oh fuck, guys, can I use your bathroom? Because I think I just shit myself. I thought you guys would fucking go shoot me. I thought you were a fucking cop. That's it. And he's like, dude, it's a fucking acid, man. Come on, let's fucking trip together. I'm like, just here to get cocaine, bro. Out. I don't know. It's kind of scary if it was you.
That's a great story.
I can tell you a story about the mafia a little bit.
Yeah, you got one?
I don't know if it was quite mafia. I don't know if you guys have ever been down to Tijuana, Mexico, right?
I have.
Okay. Well, then you know that there's the red light district down there, and that their strip houses are actually whorehouses. Right?
No, of course I know that.
Okay, so anyway, I was going down there to get some teeth worked on, and I always try to come with a friend who speaks fluent Spanish, you know, or someone who's Hispanic, because, you know, it's Tijuana. I'm a white guy, you know, I'm weird looking, whatever. At least for Tijuana standards, right? So I go down there and I get my teeth fixed, and then my friend decides, hey, like, I want to get my dick sucked. I'm going to the red light district. I'm like, fuck, I've never been there. It was a Friday night, you know, why not? So we go to this whorehouse called Adelita's, right? And it's basically like American priced alcohol, but with like random chicks. Some of them I think were underage. Like, I don't fucking know. Midgets, like, peach lotion. I mean, that's all I smelled was peach lotion. And my friend, like, he's trying to fucking get laid, and they're like, no, you have to go get pesos. There's a bank outside. So he goes to the ATM, tries to pull out money, and I'm sitting in there, and these chicks are lining up along the bar, like showing me their ass and like trying to smile at me, or like trying to talk to me, trying to engage me in some shit.
¿Cómo está, güero?
Well, no, they speak English. I mean, Tijuana is so close to like San Diego that, like, you know, most, you know, Mexican people from Tijuana speak a little bit of both, right? There are people that don't speak it, but the majority speaking a little bit English, right? So he's trying to pull out money, and he can't get any money out. So he goes, okay, all right, well, let's try another whorehouse, right? So we go to this one whorehouse up the street, like just from there. And he talks to this guy, and like all the chicks there are wearing Squirrel Girl uniforms, right? Oh. But his car doesn't work there either, because for some reason it just doesn't fucking work. Well, anyway, the pimp of that place he pulls over a fucking cab, and now it's starting to get weird, right? Now we're going from fucking in a cab with a fucking, you know, a narco or like whatever you want to call him. I mean, this guy was connected, whatever. Going from ATM to ATM, just trying to get money for him to get laid. And this whole time I'm having a bad feeling about this because they're like talking in Spanish and I can understand what's going on a little bit because I used to speak Spanish as a kid, so I kind of speak his language. I can't really speak it, but I can understand it. And we're just going from fucking whorehouse to whorehouse with this guy who's a fucking pimp and he can't pull out his fucking money. It turns out that his money wasn't fucking able to be transferred. It was going into like the thousands of pesos when he's just trying to pull out $100. And at that point, I'm just like, man, you're not going to get laid. Let's just go have some tacos and go fucking home. And that's what we ended up doing. But that was
I want the pink taco, bro.
No, but it was pretty fucking scary a little bit, man. I mean, if you've ever been to those places, like you know, you're not. I mean, you're not in Kansas anymore, for fucking sure. It's a little sketchy.
Jeff, you have to have a story. You gotta
I hope to not ever have a mob story. I'm proud to say I don't yet that I know of.
What about a sexual story? You gotta have an uncomfortable sexual story. I think everybody has.
I don't know. I'm a little shy. Remember?
Next show. The next show.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, cool. Well, guys, we're just gonna end it. Yeah, I'm about to fall out of my chair. So, hey, thank you all for showing up. Jeff, thanks for popping in, man. Nice surprise, man.
Thank you for hosting this.
Absolutely, man. And I'll get back to you, Jeff, on the stuff we were talking about.
Yeah, Jeff, it was nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, it was really good talking to you, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, stay in touch or connect, and we can talk more if you want.
Yeah. I'm on Facebook. I'm one of Zach's friends. I'm under Joseph Wilson McGuire. So if anybody wants to say hi,
I got your Instagram.